Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to be working with how to interpret histograms. So first off, let's start with a little refresher on what the difference is between a histogram and a bar graph or a bar chart. So on the left here in blue, we have a histogram. With a histogram, notice that there are no gaps between all of your different bars, all of your different sections of data. Another critical piece that makes something a histogram is we are working with number ranges on your x-axis. So that bottom axis, the horizontal line, you're dealing with number ranges and there are no gaps. Whereas when you have a bar graph or a bar chart, there are gaps between each data set, and the x-axis, so your horizontal axis, is always labeled with a category of some sort. All right, now that we've discussed the differences, let's head on over to IXL so we can work on interpreting, so reading and understanding those histograms. For our first question here, while doing a project for PE class, Dan researched the number of athletes competing in an international sporting event. How many countries have between 35 and 39 athletes? So before we answer this, let's just take a look to see how this does compare to the example I just gave you. Not only do we know it's a histogram because that's the name of our assignment, but notice that each section of data, there is no gap between them. And if we focus on our horizontal, on our x-axis down here, we can see that each one of those is representing a range of numbers, a data set that's a range. All right. Now, when you're working with these or any type of problem where you're supposed to interpret, where you're supposed to understand a graph, read it, identify what it means, always focus on that question. You may even want to read it 2 or 3 times to ensure that you know what you're trying to find so you can zero in, you can focus in on that part of your graph. We want to know how many countries have between 35 and 39 athletes. So when I look at my graph or my histogram here, I see that right here is my category for 35 to 39 athletes. So this purple section right here is my category for that. Now, if I look on my y-axis, so vertically, this is the number of countries. My bar here for this histogram goes all the way up to the top. If you trace your line, or in your case, you can either just look over with your eyes or kind of trace your finger, we see that there are 10 countries that have between 35 and 39 athletes. Professor Hutchinson has released the results of yesterday's pop quiz. Which range has the most students? So in this case, when it's talking about range, it's just meaning the range of numbers. So those are our different sections here. 1 and 10, that's the range of numbers between 1 and 10, 11 and 20, okay? That's what it means by range. Well, if I want to know which one has the most numbers, I'm going to look and see which one has the tallest bar for our histogram. Right here, this has 10 students. That's our tallest bar. So if I follow it down, I see that the score is between 51 and 60 points. That has the most students that earned that score. An employee at the craft store counted the number of red buttons in each bag of mixed buttons. Are there fewer bags that had 1 to 5 red buttons, or bags that had 21 to 25 red buttons? Whew, I got a lot in that question. All right, let's read it and break it down. So we want to know, are there fewer bags? So are there lesser bags in the section of 1 to 5 buttons or 21 to 25 buttons? Whenever you're comparing two things, like we're asked here, we want to know which one has fewer, this one or that. We always want to first identify how much each one has, Then we can compare. Then we can decide which one is fewer. So for 1 to 5 red buttons, that's my first category. And I see that my graph goes all the way up to the top. It's showing me that there are 9 bags with 1 to 5 red buttons. Then the very end is our 21 to 25 section. If I trace my line over, that takes me to 7. So that bag has only 7, or only 7 bags have between 21 and 25 red buttons. Our question is asking us which one is fewer. Well, 7 is fewer, 7 is less than 9. Therefore, the 21 to 25 range would be our answer. A business magazine surveyed its readers about their commute times. How many commutes are there in all? Ooh. We're being asked to find how many commutes there are in all. We want to know the total number of commutes. So if the total, remember, is not going to be our time, we need to look at our label. The total number of commutes is what each one of our sections is telling us. So first, we want to find how many are in each range, in each section. Then we can tally them all up. So in the 0 to 9 range, this first purple one, I can see that there are 2. In the green range, that's 10 to 19. It stops right here, which lines up with 7. My next purple one, that's 20 to 29. There are 2. The next green one, that's 30 to 39, goes all the way up to the top. It goes up to 9. My last purple one from 40 to 49, that takes us all the way over here to 4. And then the last green one from 50 to 59 is at 7. Now that we know how much each section has, if we want to figure out how many it has in all, we need to add all of them up. So we need to add 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 9 plus 4 plus 7, giving us a total number of 31 commutes. All right, let's just do a couple more questions together. Justine counted all the beads in each necklace at the jewelry store where she works. Which range of beads per necklace is the least common? So we want to know out of these 4 options here, which one is the least common? Well, if I look at 0 to 19, that's my first blue one. I probably should change my color. That would be 25. Then from 20 to 39, are there any? No, there's no data points plotted there, no bar. So 0. From 60 to 79, that would be this yellow one. I can see that's also at 25. And then from 80 to 99, we have a blue one here at 20. So which one of those ranges is the least common? Well, if it's the least common, it's going to have the least amount, meaning it would be this one right here, 20 to 39, because that didn't occur at all. All right, the librarian at the public library counted the number of books on each shelf. We want to know how many shelves have between 0 and 9 books. Well, let's find that category. Here's my range of 0 to 9 books. And then if we look on the side, that tells us how many shelves. Do we have anything graphed there? No. So don't let this fool you. It really is the answer of 0. There are no bookshelves that have only 0 to 9 books on them. All right, this will be our last question. Santiago counted the number of ducks at each pond in the city. Are there more ponds that had 1 to 10 ducks or ponds that had 11 to 20? All right, that's a pretty long question. Let's break it down. We want to know which one has more, 1 to 10 or 11 to 20. So let's figure out what each one has then we can determine which one has more. So 1 to 10 ducks is right here, and I can see that there are 6 ponds. 11 to 20 ducks is the next one, blue, and there are 3 ponds. So which one has more? Well, 6 is more than 3, therefore 1 to 10 ducks has more ponds. All right, it is your turn to try this IXL assignment. I believe that you guys are going to do really good on this one. I am excited for it. Just make sure you read it carefully and don't rush so you can ensure that you are interpreting your graph and correctly answering the question. Of course, if you need any help or you get stuck, check out this IXL tutorial. All right. Sometimes hearing it again or hearing it from a different person can cause things to click. And if that doesn't work, come to a help session or email your teacher. Bye.